record. Okay. And we are talking tonight. Let me get all these pulled up because Canva just is not my friend tonight. But I'm gonna make it work. Let's see. Whoops. So we are tonight going to talk about running effective challenge groups. And let's see. Y'all have to tell me if you can see that. Can y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's kind of scattered, but it wouldn't pull up my slides like I had it. Because, and ironically, like I swear Melanie stole my idea. No, I'm just kidding. But I posted this, my calendar, in one of our training groups, and she was like, I like how you have your team call scheduled out. And I was like, yeah. And then she took my idea, but I'm just kidding. She talks about that like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But she has been talking about running effective challenge groups for the past 2 weeks, and her calls are usually pretty good on that. I think she was going to have some speakers on her call to talk about it. I almost volunteered you, Christy, but I didn't. You'll be so glad I didn't.
Yes, I'm so glad because we just practiced.
Yeah, she asked us if we had any really good coaches who were good at this, and I thought, I should tell her about Christy. But I thought I'll let Christy do ours first.
Yeah.
But it really is, it's just so, why is it doing that? Okay, it is just really so important. But first, before we jump into that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about why it's important. But I wanted to kind of shout you guys out. Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is May. This was as of today. Yeah, Tracy, you're at the top. That's a good feeling. As of today, these are our Success Club points, and I'm so excited about Tori. She's got 2 points up there.
I know.
I was kind of pumped. I almost did a little happy dance when you told me she wanted to try to run her own challenge group because that's exciting.
Yes.
People can do it. It's not as scary as it seems. And a lot of times, like I used to be in Melanie's challenge group, and I had my own. So like I kind of felt like I could post things, but I didn't know how to encourage that well. That's kind of was my hold up in the beginning. But so I would kind of watch her and see how she encouraged people, and then I just got my own groove. But anyways, running your own challenge group and that really ties into what we're talking about tonight. Like I did stay in Melanie's group for a month or two, and then I started my own. But your connector, I think Christy's going to actually talk about this, but your challengers connect to you. You know, they sign up with you for a reason. And so anyways, but these are our Success Club points as of today. So Tracy's already hit Success Club. That's exciting. Tori has 2, Becca's at 2, and Matt's at 2. Matt really doesn't do anything. But, and so I don't know why it keeps doing this. But so I posted this last week, and it was just worth sharing again. But and we'll do a call about volume. That's a really good call that we'll do next month because volume is so important, and it took me so long to understand the importance of volume and like how to check it in our Coach Online office and all that stuff. And now I check it like all the time because once you hit Emerald, and then you go to Ruby and Diamond, that volume is going to impact your income. So the more volume you have on your weak leg, which is, like I said, it's a whole nother training call, it affects your team cycle bonus. So last week I was just kind of blown away by you guys and your volume. Becca came in. So in Melanie's team, hey, Becca, you don't get on her leaderboard for volume unless you have at least 500 PV each week. Okay. And so like you guys were pushing it there, and we're kind of a small team, and I was just really proud of you guys. Because especially, Becca, you and Christy, your Emerald coaches, that impacts if you go in there and click on your commission check every week, and you click on, it'll break down what your volume was and all that stuff. And again, I'll show you guys that. The volume's important. It's really important. And that's just, for so many orders, a Shakeology order, that's 90 PV. That's 90 points in volume. So, the more people that you keep engaged in those challenge groups like we're talking about tonight, and the more people that are satisfied and seeing results in your challenge groups, the more people that are going to stay on Shakeology and, understand the benefits of it. And that's why we're talking about challenge groups and helping people really get those results, not just for volume and for commission, but it intertwines like we're going to talk about tonight. Do you guys have any questions about volume? Like I said, we'll do a call about that later, but this was y'all last week, and I was like proud of my team.
Does it kind of correspond to sales? I mean, is that
It does. So like if somebody orders a challenge pack, like 21 Day Fix is 105 volume points PV. If they order Shakeology, it's 90. So like if they order a 3-day refresher or something, I think it's like 35. And when you go, like if you go into your Team Beachbody and you go to the shop and you look at all that stuff, it'll tell you next to the price what the PV is.
right?
Okay. And it shows on their order too. Like if you go in and check their order. So, you know, like the call today was about the performance line. The national wake up call is about the performance line. If you know people that would benefit from that, would enjoy using those supplements and they order those, that helps your PV. You know, of course you get a commission from it too, but it helps your volume. So after you hit Emerald, which is a coach on your left leg and a coach on your right leg, that's when your volume really starts to matter and you benefit from it. Again, I talked about this last week, our calendar. So obviously tonight is our team call. Our Coach Basics call has been on Tuesday nights. And I put Success Club by the 10th on the 11th. I've just been smoking weed or something. But anyways, I just feel like super scattered because tomorrow is my last day of school and I just feel like I'm in la la land, y'all. And I told Christy this today, like it makes me anxious about being at home with the boys and coaching because it's bigger than it was last summer. And I just want to make sure I pay attention to them. And I've just been scattered, but everything is good. Everything is good. Next Monday night, I want to do a live power hour call. If I think that everybody would benefit from that. If you've done one of Melanie's, you know, they're kind of overwhelming and they're really big and there's lots of people participating and there's just all this posting and questions. And I think that we would all benefit from our own power hour. I might invite Christina's team to do it with us, or I will invite them to do it with us. But that'll be good because I still struggle with just sitting down and doing my power hour. Just doing those, you know, sending out 3 or 4 invites and following up with 3 or 4 people and, you know, maybe creating like an ad post, an image for an ad or something. And honestly, if I sit down and I make myself do it and just crank it out, it's done and I don't have to think about it and I don't spend all day, you know, saying, oh, I gotta send out my invites. Oh, I need to follow up with that person. Like literally if I sit down and I do it, it's done. And, you know, I may have questions from people, but I can come back to that tomorrow. And as a mom, you know, like I work a job and then I have, you know, 2 little boys and even being at home, it's harder for me. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't see how all these moms homeschool their kids and do Beachbody coaching and all that stuff. I know it's possible, but in Rachel's world, I need that structure. And so I've got to get better at this. So I'm going to just like do it myself and invite you guys to do it with me. So that's what we're going to do next week. And especially if you're not at Success Club by next week, like, you know, plan to be there 8:30. We're going to just chat and have fun. You can bring a glass of wine if you want to, and we'll just do our power hour. Hot tea, whatever it is you drink. And then that last full week, we're going to do a little challenge in our team group. It's go for no. And every day I'm going to post something. We're going to see who can get the most no's. It sounds crazy, but like the more people you invite, the more people that will say yes. So it's just a fun little challenge that I'm going to do at the end of the week and we'll have prizes and stuff. And so my last slide was this. So before Christy jumps into this, I put this together because, you know, we do this for our challengers. And I think that if a coach does not coach for their challengers, they're probably not going to be a very good coach long term because you have to have that heart. You have to have that passion, that desire to help people. And it sounds cliche, but a good coach just wants to help people, okay? And, you know, if you're coaching, you know Shakeology works. You know the 21 Day Fix portion containers, they work. You've seen the results. You know, I mean, I know the people that are on this call right now, you've transformed, you know, since you physically, outwardly, since you started using these products and you know the benefits. But more than that, you know, like we want to help people realize that they can do this. Yeah, we put the right tools in their hands. Yeah, we believe in Shakeology. We know it curbs cravings. We know that the meal planning works and all that stuff, but we want to help people make lifelong changes. So the reason that we're talking about successful challenge groups and engaging challengers and finding ways to keep them active in the group and, during their workouts and drinking their Shakeology is because we want them to have results, plain and simple. We want them to have physical outward results if that's what they want. If their goal is to lose weight, we want to help them do that. If their health is bad, we want to help them improve it. We want our challengers to love Shakeology. I mean, I could tell my story 50 times a day. Shakeology has changed my hormones. It's helped my cholesterol. It's just convenient. It's so easy. I mean, we want them to understand the benefits of Shakeology and to continue drinking it. We want to build strong relationships. Coaching is about relationships. And if you don't want to have relationships with people, it's probably not going to be much fun for you, And so the challenge group is a community too. My challenge group for April, they are amazing. It's fun. Poor Tracy started off in this challenge group that did nothing. And then she went into this challenge group, and it's just like night and day. And they are amazing. They're encouraging each other. Like, I could leave the group entirely and they would keep going. And that is so cool to me. That is just amazing to me. But all that we do for our challengers on the left directly affects our business as coaches, okay? So, if people are happy, they're going to refer people to you to do a challenge group or to try Shakeology, or they're going to sign up as a coach, whether it's a discount coach or a working coach. If you're getting challengers into your challenge groups, then you're hitting Success Club. You cannot be successful if you're not hitting Success Club. That just means you're finding people to help. You are, you're selling challenge packs. They're loving Shakeology. They continue to drink it, and your business just grows. It's just it's a natural side effect. It affects your volume, your cycle bonuses, and like I said, people will, if they love it, they'll either switch to discount coaches or they'll start coaching themselves and start running challenge groups themselves. And it also affects where you fall on the leadership ladder. Sorry, there's a bug in here. Which, we're really starting to emphasize the leadership ladder even more so than like rank, like diamond and things like that, because you can be a diamond coach and not hit Success Club. You can be a diamond coach and not run challenge groups. You can be a diamond coach and make a lot less money than a team leader would make. So the leadership ladder, it's more inclusive of volume of Success Club, about how many coaches you're helping. And so all those things, when you run successful challenge groups, these things just happen as a natural effect. So I asked Christy to share, because she puts me in her challenge groups, and I'm glad she does, because I've gotten really good ideas from her. And so she's really good at engaging her challengers. I mean, like, her challengers stay with her. They stick with her. They post. If they get off track, they come back. She runs fun little challenges. She has neat ideas to provide resources to them. And so I asked her to share about that, because, there's like things, I've got a notebook. I'm going to take notes while she talks, because she's just really good at it. And we all have different strengths, and I'm going to call on different people to actually help me with these team calls, because I don't do it all perfectly. I don't do it all perfectly. And so, I think that we can really help each other as a team to grow and to do this the best way that we know how. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Girly, and you can share your screen.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Okay. I wonder what happened. There.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm not real sure. I've not used Keynote in so long. I don't even know if I hit play. Can you see that?
You can do that, or you can just leave it like you had it and just click on each slide. We could see it that way too.
Okay. All right, so it's a little summary color. I am excited to talk about it because this is really why I became a coach. I decided I wanted to lead the challenge group before I even knew you had to be a coach to lead a challenge group. And so it is exciting to talk about, but I'm sure that, or not sure, but I hope that you learn something and ask questions and for specifics. I'm also going to toggle to my Facebook to the group. and show you some specifics instead of incorporating them in here. Obviously, you know, one thing I didn't include this, but I tend to keep my challengers confidential. I don't know if everybody does that, but you know, I have a lot of sorority sisters that I've reconnected with, and I don't even, when I'm inviting and talking with them about joining, I don't even say, oh, hey, so-and-so, she's thinking about doing this, because it's totally up to them and they'll see when they get in there. So that's something. So obviously if I show you the group, if you know anybody, or just, you know, keep it confidential. So I think it is very important to understand the ultimate purpose of a challenge group. So we have a goal, and it is to support these challengers in creating a healthy lifestyle, like Rachel said. Like ultimately, that's what it's about. I want everyone to experience what I experienced in a challenge group, and continue to actually experience right alongside them. And I just want everybody to be able to see that they can totally do this. And so that is the ultimate goal. And then what my objectives are for each challenge group is a solid foundation. I don't think that, and I know for myself, like, you know, 30 days, and we can all do it for 30 days and stick with it and be perfect. But I want them to really understand the ups and downs of it. And this is long-term, and this is a foundation. And I say that a lot in my daily post. And I'll say, you know, this is a foundation. Remember, we're doing this to lay a solid foundation. And then I want to form a bond with these people. Most of them I have had a bond with at some point in my life. This has been so amazing to reconnect. I have reconnected with junior high classmates, high school, college, you know, people from my life in Memphis, people from here in Alabama. And it's just like people in Minnesota or my challenge groups. And it's just, I've reconnected, and it has been fantastic. So I want to form a bond with them. And then also I want them in that challenge group to achieve short-term goals that are going to lead to the long-term goals. And so we go through that in the challenge group. So that is just an overview of what each group means to me, just the fundamentals. So I broke this out into kind of the timeline of the challenge group. So I start with a prep week, and y'all, I'm serious. My first challenge group, I told them it was ending. It was like, just kidding. We've only been active for 3 weeks. That was including the prep week. So we're going to extend this another week. You know, I tried to play it off and make it cute, but I was just like, I didn't know what I was doing. So the prep week is my first week. And of course, I follow the same format as Rachel in this. And so every day there's pretty much an assignment. And, you know, we start with the why and the goals. And I finally did the WooFoo form. I'm so glad. I don't know why I held out so long in doing that. I think I was just intimidated, but it's so easy. It was so quick. And I actually looked at Becca's, I believe. I followed your link one day and looked at that. And so, I encourage them, and this is a time when I will talk about the why and goals in a daily post, but I'm also sending them messages. And we probably started this actually during the invitation phase and when they were, you know, getting all signed up. But really, this is a private message kind of thing. I ask them, you know, really think about why you're going to do this. What's going to get you out of bed in the morning? What's going to keep you going? I assure you, if it is a pant size, then at some point that cinnamon roll is going to win over if you do not have a clear why. And I share with them my why. And it's really to be the best me that I can be for my guys ultimately. And I can go into and drill down to specifics, but that's the overarching. And then we do goals each week, their goals. And I don't, you know, go back on week 2 and say, oh, you did not hit your goal. You know, this is for them. And I explain that these goals may change along the way, but this is a starting point. And I share with them mine as an example. So what I do with that form is once they do the WooFoo form, I save it or I email it to myself, and then I forward it to them. So they have that as a reference, remember your why. When you get weak, when you think you need to look at your why, go back to the email and look at your why. So then I educate them along the way. We talk about, most people in my groups are doing 21 Day Fix. I will have a few that are doing hammer and chisel or size. I get a lot of size, not a lot, I get several people doing size. And so I educate them regardless of the workout plan. We start talking about 21 Day Fix meal plans. I encourage everyone to follow 21 Day Fix meal plan and the containers, even if they are not doing the workout program. It will help them feel more a part of the group, and most people that are joining don't have their not meal planning, but their portions down and understand how to eat a balanced diet. So I educate them from anything of, okay, here are the number of containers you get for this range. Here are the resources for that. And I'm trying to think of what some other ways that I educate. I give them an overview of how the challenge is going to go once we become active. This is our prep week, and then we're going to go into an active, what I call the active part of the challenge. We're going to check in daily and just make them feel comfortable and understand what's coming about. I don't think I did that in my first challenge group, and I think the challengers were like, what happened? Where are we? So I always want to educate them to make them feel comfortable. And then,
you seem to add to your resources every time, and I'm always like, whoa, that's a really good idea. But you share links to I don't know, maybe just sites where you get recipes or something. Yeah. You share shopping lists, you share external color coded things. Chrissy's like the Pinterest queen. So she really is. She finds good stuff there. And so, I think the resources, just setting them up that first week for success, like I've always just kind of been so overwhelmed by it. I'm not an organization person, but Christy obviously is. And some of you guys are too, I think. But just giving them all that stuff up front, I think just kind of calms their fears. And so she's good at that. I just want to say that.
They're just, they've signed up for this. They're excited about it. They're waiting on their box to get there. I mean, oh my goodness, this challenge group that I have right now, like they were taking pictures of their challenge packs when they arrived on their doorstep. They were like, it's here. I mean, they were on fire in the beginning. They still are to a degree. We did, and I'll go into a reason I think that there's some drift in the group right now. But anyways, so just make them feel comfortable, because this is the point where they're like, oh my gosh, what have I signed up for? What am I doing? I'm going to meal plan. What in the world are we doing? So I will go through like, okay, here's how you get your meal plan ready. Here's how you get your meal prep ready, down to the simple thing of make a list. I say, I hope that this is obvious, but I'm going to say it, make a list, like top 10 things. And so a lot of that I save onto my computer, and then I just copy it into a post, or I'll make a cute little image. Motivate goes right along with, I think, the educate, but I motivate them with inspirational quotes, just random pictures, that I found in Pinterest, or just little things, just random, and I really encourage you to do this. I have a Pinterest board that is private. I think I shared it with you, Rachel, the Challenger motivation quotes, and I'll go into Pinterest in a minute. And if not, but I'm happy to share that with you guys, and you can take from it, because I don't pin them publicly, because so many of my challengers I like follow, and we follow each other on Pinterest. So I just keep it private, and then I go there and I'll just snag a picture and put it in the group. And then encourage, to me, is different than motivate. Like encourage is, you can do this. We are going to do this together. We can do it. I'm right here beside you. It's not coddling. It's just making them believe that they can do it. And really finding their, rely on your why, And then resources, like Rachel said, I always put things in the files section. Like I remember Rachel was like, check our files section. I was like, what in the world is she talking about? I had no clue you could even put files in a Facebook group. And so I will put some of the same things there and just move them over. I wish there was like a real easy drag and drop, but I don't think there is. I'm uploading one file at a time, so there may be an easier way to do it. And then I share with them some of my personal favorite like resources. I have a couple of bloggers and cookbooks and different things. A lot of it tends to be more paleo or no grain, because I try to be as little grain as possible. But so I just share things that have been helpful to me. Like, here are some products. Here are the links to these little containers that I put my food in. So it's just something that makes them feel, like, oh, they can choose to get it or not. They don't buy that product. It gets them to thinking about one that they might. So that is essentially the overview of Prep Week. And one thing I just jumped right in, and I didn't include this, but so far all of my challenge groups have incorporated a faith piece to them, and because that was so important to me, and I want to share that with other people. And I think that really is what a lot of my audience, I say audience, they really connect to. And I can tell you, I never saw anyone pop up in my news feed talking about faith and fitness until Rachel sent me a friend request. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been missing. Why did I incorporate this? I incorporate faith in everything else, but I've never prayed truly about being healthy and in shape. I mean, healthy, yes, but like more of like, Lord, help my organs, or, help me recover from the surgery, but not like, help me live a healthy lifestyle and, rely on you. So that is just an overview, very general, of Prep Week. Do you have any questions or thoughts? Okay.
I did have one question. So they don't share their goals like in the group, like with each other?
I haven't asked them to. Well, let me take that back. I do have it in some of my posts.
Yeah.
I've not seen it and I don't know if it's because I'm not encouraging them enough to do that, but I've not, I'll say share your goal for week 1 below.
Yeah.
And I'll have 1, maybe 2 that do that.
Yeah.
So I guess that is something that I definitely could push them more.
Well, no, I'm not saying, I was just curious, because I've done it both ways. Like, I've used the WooFoo form, and I get it, and I can see it. And sometimes I'll say, would you be willing to share this in the group, or could I share it in the group? But if I get like one person that'll post their goal underneath that day 1 post, usually everybody else will. And it's just a really good way for them to connect and to learn about each other. But just getting like that first person to do it is the key. And so anyways, I was just curious if they share their goals or not. That works.
One thing, and I didn't say this, and I typically ask everybody to share a little bit about themselves in the group. Comment below and tell, the group why you're here. Not necessarily their why, so to speak. Because listen, this last group, like, I was brought to tears with some of the whys. Like, it was so intense, a couple of them, and I was like, wow, I'm dealing with some really involved whys, if you will, to not go too far into it. And so, but why are you here? What does this mean to you? And a lot of times I'll ask, what do you think your biggest challenge in this group is going to be? And I will specifically pray for you about that this week. And that really gets them more engaged. I find that as well. I was going to say,
how do you set up the WooFoo form? Is it WUFU or
WUFOO, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I typed it in the chat part,
Okay.
Tracy. It's easy. And we can share ours with you. It's real easy to create, but we can share our why documents with you. I use them for challenge groups and coaching applications and stuff too, but it's free. You can create 3 of them for free. So,
Mhm. So let's see. I was going to go just real quick into this group. Can you guys see this?
Do you send them that even after they've signed up for your challenge group, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they can, because we may have talked or texted or messaged back and forth about the wine, but didn't really get into it. And
Yeah.
that there's also, week 1 goal, week 2 goal, week 3 goal.
Okay.
And then, so break it out.
yeah, and that's a really good, however, whether you do it through WooFoo or in the group or private message, like if you can get them to state their goal and like really get them to think about it and connect with it, that really helps motivate people more. If they just say, I want to I just want to lose 6 pounds and wear size 4 pants, that's not going to keep you motivated. I mean, we all know that. It's exciting, yes, but once you hit that goal, you're going to quit, but if it's like, my family, my dad died of high cholesterol when he was 45, I want to be here for my kids, or whatever. People really tend to do better. You have to exit your screen.
Oh, is that
Share screen? Go up to the top. You should have like an options button, a drop down menu.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
And new share? Is that it?
Do what?
Do I do new share?
No. Can you exit? Stop share? Should say stop share.
It just says new share.
Oh, maybe so. Try it. I don't know.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
I think my Facebook, for some reason, my internet, it's just not doing anything. So let me get there. Let's just try this. Okay. So, look, she's there I am with my weight. She has twins, bless her heart, and her back is injured. She's had a really hard time. Okay. So here's my group. And, I was just saying some in the files section, these are some of the files that I put in there. A lot of them are standard that I do down in this area. And I always start out giving them a couple of menu templates for them to choose from, because I've obviously had issues settling on one. And so I have 3 or 4, and I put those in there, and then I get them started with a few menus of mine, like if you want to do this. And then I've actually had a few of them upload their own, and they'll put it in there. Several of them actually. So the quickest way probably to show you some posts from the beginning, or to go to the pictures. So one of the things that I like to show them, gosh, that's a terrible picture. Sorry. But I started putting these things at the top, just so they know right away what they're going to be getting. Here's a prep tip, here's a product tip, here's a meal planning tip, that sort of thing. And so this is I'm sorry, it's so blurry, but it shows them how to get to the files, click on files, and then there are the files, because maybe they were like me and didn't know. And here would be one that, this was random. This is an example of just really just educating them and motivating them. I'm in the car right now, riding to Birmingham. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here right now. It was just, kind of last minute for them. And I try to always put a picture, Rachel has, gotten that into my brain of they're going to look at it. These are little things because goodness, don't forget to give your wine goal form. That was Monday's assignment, and whatever day we were on, I put in the post that I only have 3. And then, here's one lady, she's really struggled with navigating the challenge group. And so, I just took it right into a private message for her and was like, okay, here we go. Let me email this to you. Let's work on it.
Did you create that with Rona or something?
This is one of the new, what's it called? The one that just upgraded that you
with not Word Swag.
Word Swag, yes. Like I did this on my phone, and it's one of my favorites. This little thing. So anything just to get their attention. Like this was just like one evening. Hey, girls, I haven't received this, and so just little things like, here's where we are with this challenge with our prep week so far. And, I was like, get your mind right, get your workout program, study, just really kind of, coaching them in what to expect. And then let's see. So something, I don't know how you guys do it. Here's one about the app, this is the 21-Day Fix app that you can use. So, and I had a prep tip. But I follow most every group I have followed Made to Crave because it was such impact on me. It did. And so it had on me. And so I follow that. I started with Rachel's script that she had, and so I tailor it and customize it. And so what I do is I have that, and I have an image that goes with it. And sometimes if I'm on my phone, like say Connor wakes up right after I work out and I've not had a chance to post that yet, that daily motivation and devotion, I'll go back to my first group or a previous group and copy and paste it directly from there and save the picture from there and repost it. So I can do every bit of it from my phone if I don't have a chance to sit down at the computer. So that's just
using Sendable.
Hmm?
I've got to get you using Sendable.
Okay. I started using Hootsuite.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And then it just started cutting off.
Yes. I like Sendable better. I do pay for Sendable though. It's $9 a month, but it helps.
Okay. Can you guys see again, or do I need to change? You can see?
You're in Zoom.
Yeah. Can you guys see? Okay. All right. So I guess here I am. I'm getting into this. So now, here's what I do, like a daily minimum for me as a coach for my challengers. It's the morning thought, devotion, a verse pick. Like I said, I just kind of went into that, and my accountability check-in. And there are some nights where I do fall asleep and I try to do it the next day, or I do it that morning, but then I'm checking in with them and I'm holding myself accountable as well, and I tell them that I'm right here, or yesterday was not a great day for me, and when I have a great day I let them know I had a great day also. I'm like, I had an awesome day today. It was one of the best days I've had in a long time. And, just so they can see that it's like this, there's no perfection. I think maybe my February group, I remember one of my challengers said, so you're not actually perfect, because I had had a cheat meal, or I was like, I've had a really off day. And I was like, oh my gosh, did they think I never had moments or cheated, So I was like, I think that they appreciated that. Obviously you don't want to encourage them to fall off the wagon if you have a bad week, but there is some goodness to letting them see you be normal. Another devotion that I have used, I can't remember the name of it. I've really had higher hopes for it. And I know this sounds bad. I think it was almost too simple as far as the stuff the devotion itself. It wasn't enough for me to pull pieces out of it. I can't ever remember the name of it. A Healthier You, Devotions for a Healthier You. And sometimes it didn't have anything really to do about health, or it was specifically about working out, and I just didn't feel like it matched up. So I ended up using just some of it. But I felt like it wasn't big enough for me to pick apart. I was either going to rewrite what she said or copy and paste her devotion. And I felt kind of weird about that. Like, I never want anybody to think that I'm stealing Lisa TerKeurst's words, so I always try to give her credit. Where I don't want to be like, oh, Christy is such a beautiful writer. No, it is. I give Rachel credit for a lot of it and Lisa TerKeurst. So those are my minimums. And then this is where I really think the effectiveness of the challenge group comes in. It's engaging them. And I will be honest with you, this group right now, I have not engaged them as much the past week or overall week. And I can tell that they're not, they're not posting as much. And I also had one challenger that had to leave the group that was very vocal. And I'll come back to that. But she was vocal in a great way. And everybody thought she was funny, and it worked out. And it just created this great dynamic. And so, like Rachel, and I think we talked or chatted in a message with some of you guys, and we're like, I felt like you do. Like, they didn't need me. Like, they could have led the group for a couple of weeks that motivated themselves. So here's where I think this comes down to. Your challengers are attracted to you and your journey. Something you did along the way encouraged them to be a part of this with you. I can tell you, I would not be in a challenge group with somebody that I did not like what they were doing and what I was seeing. And, I'm not saying we have to be the same person, but their style, if you will. And so that's why they chose us. So think about your engagement post, and then this may sound weird, but like a pep talk to yourself. Like, what motivates you? What do you like to hear? Mm-hmm. And so just think about that. And, where are you in your journey? In mine right now and in my daily posts on Facebook, like, I'm in a little bit of a slump here as far as, and I think mine is like just mental, like consistency. I'm just kind of need to get through a little bit of this slump, but what do I need to hear? Because if I need to hear it, there's somebody else that identifies with me that needs to hear it. So I'm one of those kinds of people where I start off strong, and that's obvious in this last challenge group. I'm kind of dipping, but I can snap out of it like that if somebody throws a mini challenge in there, or just some words of encouragement. I have started, I didn't put this on here, or maybe I did videos. I got this little thing that is about this big, round, and it goes into my vent in my car. I saw this in one of our diamond groups. It's like $6 on Amazon, and it's a different one than this girl was saying, but it sticks into my vent. And iPhone 6s, I know, have a magnet in the bottom and the top part here. I don't have a case. And it will stick right onto that vent. And I've just been doing a video as I'm going to work or on my way back, because I have a long drive. And I know I probably look crazy, and because I'm like eyes looking around, but I try to do it in my neighborhood where I'm like going 30 miles an hour and it's pretty safe, or red lights when I'm in standstill traffic. So those things just are helpful. I don't always get a lot of comments or likes, but I can see that they are viewing them. And the other night I did one, and it's kind of where when I started sliding into this little weird phase, and I was like, look, dinner didn't happen. I thought I would be able to finish prepping for the week. So I'm headed to Chick-fil-A to get grilled chicken nuggets and a salad. And this happens, we're just going to get right back up and we're going to be fine, And that really helps a couple of them that were struggling. And because once some people fall off, they feel like they're not worthy of getting back on. And I don't know, to me, that is just, it's not my personality, but I'm learning a lot about people. And I have a family member that is that way, that they just are like, oh, it's not worth it. I can't get back into this. So those little things help. And then mini challenges and giveaways. Rachel did one around Halloween of, most creative Shakeology. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing. I love this. Like, that is just right up my alley. And so I've got some people, the first one I did was in March, and it was Shamrock this challenge, and I thought it was grandest idea. And I think 2 people participated. I was like, how can you not participate? But they did. It helped too. It needed to help, and it worked, and that's what it's about. Giveaways, I do little things. I like buy these spices, like Wild Tree spices that I have. And so I did a party, and I had so much credit from that party that I was like, I don't need any more spices. What am I going to do? So I just ordered a lot of the samplers. And so I'll send them a pack of very healthy herbs and like seasoned packet or infused oil to cook with. And it goes right along with what we're talking about here, convenience and cooking.
Hey, Christy, we can't see your slides. All we see is your Zoom screen.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, just exit out or do a new share again or something.
Okay.
That's
Hold
fine.
Are you there now?
Hold on. Are we there? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, how have y'all been there without those? Okay.
That's good.
All right. And then I will continue educational posts as far as meal prepping goes. I educate on the different types of food. I did a post about the different types of oils because I think that like people don't understand, like, we're just so marketed to, and they don't understand, like, why somebody sent me a message. Why are you telling me to drink unsweetened almond milk instead of skim milk? Why wouldn't I drink skim milk? And I'm like, don't drink it. Like, there's nothing in there for you, And so I'm like, I will send you some links of it without me regurgitating it. And then you can find out for yourself why. And let me tell you, articles from Team Beachbody, oh my goodness. I think they do this for us. Obviously, they do to educate, but they're so helpful. And I'll show you one that I did, and I customized it a little bit, but it was just real simple. And then reminder posts, I talked about that and showed you one of those about the why. And then, typically for meal planning, I do that. I didn't do it this week because I was sliding and I felt like I couldn't hold them as accountable, and I should have, but they're working on their meal plans. So that's the group. And then I'm a believer in engaging the individual challenger through private messages. When they check in, comment on it always. Comment. There may be one that slips by because I go to sleep or I thought I got it. And sometimes I think Facebook plays tricks on us. I'll be like, where in the world, what is that post? I saw it. I was thinking about something. I was going to comment, how I was going to comment, and then I couldn't find it. And so one of the ways that instead of like, I'm always like, high five, or you're totally rocking it, woohoo, those things. But then I like to ask them questions to engage them and say, if somebody says something like, I didn't have time because my daughter had a fever, I'm like, well, first of all, I really care. And then 2, I'm like, oh my goodness, what, did you go to the doctor? That sort of thing. Or how is your daughter today? So, comment on them. And because, you've all been in challenge groups, you know how it gets around that 3rd week, and you're like, is anybody out there? Is anybody still checking in? Does she care? Those kinds of things. And then invite to be an active coach. I will send a private message around, because you've got prep week, they're already becoming active. You've got your first week and they're getting in their groove, some of these people. So I'll send a private message, and I'm not good at inviting, like cold inviting, but if I really see that someone is doing a fantastic job, I'll say, have you ever thought about coaching? Or thank you so much, you're doing such a good job. I really feel like that you're helping me coach this group. I'm very thankful for it. So I'll do that, and then introduce the preferred customer discount coach option. And so I've done this. I really am a believer. Those 2 you need to do based on your gut instinct about the individual challenger, of which is going to make an impact. Like, does it, one person I told, she was like, $15 really doesn't seem like that much for me to go through and do all that. was like, it adds up to $200 a year if you're planning to drink Shakeology, for a year. And so I did it a little differently this past month when I was very actively in the beginning pushing for Diamond, and it felt a little odd with a couple of people, but one, it was like super natural. And she was like, yes, give me the form. I'm signing up. I'm going to drink this forever, kind of deal. So just to, use your instinct and what you feel like, I think is the best way to go in the order of asking them. And then monitor your back office for their upcoming Shakeology shipment. There are 2 reasons for this. Is like, I realized somebody ordered a second order of Shakeology, and they never even said, hey, I think I'm going to sign up for a second order because my whole family's into this, So I saw it. I was like, are you sure you want this? And she was like, oh, yeah, I ordered 2. And so it's not like you're creeping on these people. It shows them that you are paying attention to what they're doing. They're not just out there, because by this point they know that you have a vested interest, likely financially, in a way of them buying from you. And so without you saying, I get commission from your purchases. So, it's just nice for them to know. It's always helpful for that upcoming shipment for them to see that you're looking out for them. And on demand is one that gets people a lot, because they're like, what's this $45 charge? And I'm like, well, it's for your on demand and it's in advance. So I know that sounds really basic, but I learned a lot about, especially after the challenge group has ended, about their purchase habits. And, I use it as a way to check in with them. And so that is really, let's see, all the slides I have. Let me see if I can share. Oh yeah. And I'll post this if you want me to in our group, or however.
4. What's the one before this one?
The minimum.
Okay, yeah. I don't think we saw that slide, but.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is what I consider like the minimum. That you would do, and everything else is just above and beyond. And then I can show you guys if it's helpful. Let me I'll share it right away, so you're just not hanging out there.
Hey, would you mind too, in our team page, if you don't mind, to share some of those that you created, like about the 21 Day Fix app, and I think you had one, how to access on demand, and how to access the file section.
Yes. Okay, hold on one second.
We can see Facebook, yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
I love the app. I mean, I just went and did mine while I was sitting here. I was like, oh, I got to check off my boxes.
It's a game changer, I think.
Yeah. I showed it to my brother, and he's like, well, why don't I just use this?
Yeah.
I was like,
and do any of you guys, you email your customers when they sign up with the challenge pack? Tracy, I may not have shared this with you yet, but like Becca, do you email your customers that email that I shared with you guys? It breaks down the on-demand cost, and that, they have a free trial and what it'll cost afterwards. And it also tells them, mine introduces the coach and the discount and all that stuff from the beginning. I don't push it on them or tell them to do it, but I just say, your Shakeology is going to auto ship, and you have the option, if you love it, to get a discount on it, but we can talk about that later, basically. But I kind of address all that, like, as soon as they buy a challenge pack, just so they're not, and I do warn I don't know if that's the right word, but notify them that their shakes are going to ship, because Beachbody does not do that. And that does drive me a little crazy. They'll just charge somebody and there's no warning. Mm-hmm. Although they do click that they read that when they order their challenge pack and stuff. But most people
probably still have that email from you, but if you
I'll post it in Coach Basics. It's in our team page in the file section too. But I do. I'm like Christy said, and I'm sure Becca does too. She can talk to what she does. But I do. I usually, if somebody buys a challenge pack, either in Asana, which is what I use to track my challengers, or in my calendar, I'll make a note for like 28 days later to message Katie, that her shakes are going to ship, because I don't want anybody to be blindsided. That's a lot of money. And, like Christy said, if they do love it and I've had challengers do that. They order two shipments of it, and they're like, I introduced the discount coach option for the savings, and they're like, okay, do I need to create an account for myself and my husband? And I could, business wise, just say, yeah, that'd be 2 coaches for me. But it's to their advantage if they're not going to work the business, just to create 1 coach account and have 2 shake shipments, because they're not paying that extra coaching fee for another coaching account. So they do trust you. Like, I don't want to bamboozle anybody. That's a lot of money, and that's their health and everything. And I want them to have the best advantage. But Becca, do you do that? Do you email them when they sign up?
Yeah, I really like the Challenge Tracker app, and this is my second month to use it. I've not been doing the Facebook groups, and it has a customized email, and I put that in their email when I invite them to the group. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm saying that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they have it, and then, like you said, I will have my little reminder on my iPhone for eternity, a week ahead. Call or contact them and let them know that their Shakeology is going to ship out in case they want to change anything.
That's awesome. And I was going to say, and since we're talking about challenge groups, I have to figure out the challenge app. It sounds like it's great. And because I will say that the reason I had someone had to withdraw from the challenge group is that she and her husband are going through a very nasty custody battle with her husband's ex-wife. And the lawyer told her to completely delete her Facebook account. So she didn't have any way to participate in our group dynamic. And so I email her the daily, devotion or thought for the day and the picture, but she's still not able to interact and be a part of the group. So I have felt like, oh gosh, I've got to do that in case that ever happens. But then again, I'm torn because I feel like people are like, Facebook is just right there for them, and they're just scrolling through and checking it, that it's so easy for them to remember it. I worry, like, will they forget about it if it's in the Challenger app, which, that's just kind of like what's been going on in my mind.
I like the app better.
I do too.
I really do. I mean, I thought about, Rachel, like with my first group, kind of running a parallel challenge, having them in our Facebook group, your Facebook group.
And then that's a good idea.
That way, 1, I can get in on the contest.
Yeah.
There's a contest. And 2, kind of trying it out and seeing how they like it. I liked it because it was easy. You could say, I drank my shake. I did my workout. And then you could go back and you can see every day that you did that. And then it was easier to even copy paste in that app than it is in Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, and a schedule. You don't have to pay for scheduling. It's already there. That's what I like. I'm so cheap.
Yeah,
and that's a big thing, though. I mean, that's very convenient. My challengers, like my 22-minute hardcore, they did great like the first 4 or 5 weeks. Then they kind of dropped off, which that's typical. If I run a group over 4 weeks, it typically, people drop off. But my challengers they don't engage in it like in Facebook pages. And I think that's just kind of my market. They're on Facebook and they like it and they're social, and, not that people aren't social who do the group, but I think the app is awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, you can turn on notifications or turn off notifications.
Yeah.
And so, if you, like the only thing, I don't know what this is, and I don't know if you noticed it doing it, but your posts usually show up twice.
Really?
Yeah. In the 2-minute
hardcore. It doesn't in my feed, so I don't know.
Can y'all see Pinterest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to show you what I have here.
I don't know if you can see that, but that's 2 of the same posts.
Huh. I wonder if mine do that.
Crazy.
I'm curious now to know if mine do that.
I know. Because I only post it once.
Well, I figured it was an app thing, and like it's not when you do like you post your workout picture.
Yeah.
That usually doesn't. It's usually like I think it's like when you do it from the computer.
Right, because I do schedule them. I use the scheduler.
See, I hadn't even got into the app, so I don't know.
You have to create your own challenge group. You create it online. You go to, I can send you the website.
Yeah,
You go
I
to the,
found it in the office.
but
In my
you
office.
create it as a coach. And that's one thing. You can only have one coach. So like only one person can post in the group as far as scheduling, which is fine. But whereas in Facebook, you can make someone an admin. So like Christina and I run Coach Basics together. We're both admins in the group and we can schedule the posts for that. But that's not really an issue so much. But I just like that you can go and look and see if anybody's like a person has been in the group. It'll show if they haven't been in there for like 6 days or 24 hours or whatever. And I use that to check in with challengers because on Facebook I have a lot of people who follow, they just don't participate. Whereas the challenge app, you can see like, did they post their before pictures? Did they upload their why? Did they do all this stuff? It's really user friendly and helps you kind of monitor. I guess it sounds like a horrible word, but participation in the group. And it's good. I like it.
I have several that want to continue in this next group or want to keep going. And so I may do like a test group with them in there and do it since we'll see if I don't know that I can do 2, but I was going to show you guys, Rachel asked me if I would share a little bit about what I was doing with Pinterest. And so I've created some private boards and my intent is to load them up with recipes that have 21-day fix already in it, or I've got a vegetarian right now and she's really struggling. She doesn't cook and she's a vegetarian, and so she's like really wants to try, and so I've been putting some of those in here. So they may not all have the 21-day fix portions, but they are fix friendly or just ideas and menus, and so these are in here for them, and it's going to be a benefit to my challengers of, okay, we've got this board. I can go up here and I can invite people to be in this board, and then they accept it and I can remove them. And so I'll give them notice and say, okay, make sure you have all these pinned because I'm going to close our board. And I don't want to just keep everyone in there. I want that to be a feature that I bring to my challenge groups. And so if you're in my challenge group, then you can get these recipes, and I don't want it to I don't want to dilute it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I want it to be like this group. And so I'll just be able to remove them, and then I'll be able to change the name of it, and I can just keep growing this and have a wealth of pins for them. And how I started this was I went to my personal boards that I have that are public and of 21-day fix, and or paleo, whatever, and I just pinned it twice, and it will tell you, hey, it looks like you've already pinned this, but I'll still go ahead and pin it. And so an example, I don't know how much you guys are you pin, but like I can pin this and it will say, oh, you've already done it, and then I can just go and choose it right there. And then something else I have done for people that are just terrified of meal planning, I have created an individual private board for them to get them started, and specifically what they want. And I will say, look at the food list that's in our file section and tell me what is easier, either what you are not going to eat, or, if you're a really picky eater, point out what you will eat, or do you eat out a lot? And so, and I'll go through and just find several recipes, like 17 there, 16 here, and just to get them started. And it's like, oh, well, all she did was went out and found some pins for me. I can do that too. And it's just kind of like a little, push them into seeing how easy it is they can do, but kind of getting them started. Here are some of my other private boards that I have. Not Connor Turns One. I know y'all aren't interested in that, but here are my challenger motivation quotes, and you can choose who you want to share these with. I guess I never invited you to this, Rachel.
I don't think so, but I don't know.
So here are all of my like morning posts that go along with the devotion I've, saved in here. Some of them, like, I looked up specifically the ones that Rachel started with, and then some are different because I have a lot of repeat challengers. And so I know that, like, while they appreciate the reminder of the message for that day, it might be nice to see a different picture, since they just saw it 30 days ago. So I will try to find options and, like, oh, something else I didn't say. I'm kind of all over the place right now, but I try to choose a verse for every one of my groups, and that are motivational. And so this is this month's, Ezra 10:4, rise up, take courage, and do it. Like, that totally applies to what we're doing here, but it also incorporates faith. And so I've got all these in here, and you can share these groups or boards with people. And one other one that I have is, hold on. It may go right back to that. I have coaching, like, this is on a different side note, but while we're here, I just kind of organize them. If I see things that pertain to, things that I will put with maybe a coaching post. I may not use this specifically, but it's, the words or the verse that really resonate. And I try not to rip anybody off, if they've got it, claimed, I'll make it a little bit of my own there. So that's how I'm using Pinterest. Instead of saving all these images to my computer or to my phone, that's how I'm using it. And then with the recipes, sharing with them.
So you just save the image to your computer and use it that way? Is that what you do?
I do. Like, you can see there's one right there. When I'm on my computer, I do, and then I'll typically, like, I should just do this, but then if I'm on my phone, I just save it right there, and then I go back and delete it off my phone, but that way I can just have it.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. It's such like you said, Becca, it's a free organization tool, and I don't use it at all. Like, I will pin things from my blog to Pinterest, to get people to connect with my blog, but I don't use it to find the images that's awesome. And you put a lot of work into helping your challengers, just like with individualized meal ideas for them. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it though is not, what I'll do is I always go and I search my own recipes first, because I know it's tried and true. And I'm not going to make their meal plan for them because I want them to understand that they can use my meal plan. That's fine. But I want them to learn how to do it, because I'm not going to make their meal plan for them forever. So, but just get them at least started. And I really do think more than anything, it shows them that they can do that too. Like, I'll tell them what I did. I just typed in 21-day fix, avocado or, artichoke, something like that. And they're like, oh, that's how you did it? Okay, I can do that. So,
okay.
I hope that's helpful. I feel like, I've learned it all from Rachel, watching her doing it. So.
You do a lot of stuff that I don't do. Do you guys have any questions for her, or about just challenge groups or anything like that? One thing about the challenge tracker app, that the only thing that I don't like is that when I post a link, how on Facebook an image pops up when you it won't do that. And so
I know.
I have a lot of challengers who say that I can't get that link to open. and I don't have that problem on Facebook. I don't know what the deal is. But it's not always, it's just sometimes.
Only thing I've ever seen with the app that I thought, is it like, I could tell that you posted it from your computer, and then it's not a mobile friendly site when you go to it, so
Yes.
you can't see it on your phone, or I can't.
Wow.
You know, if you're 20, you might can.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. There's a lot of benefits to it though, and I think it's great.
Just
Especially
the
for those people that don't like Facebook.
shake and the workout thing. I love that part.
Yeah, that's cool to go back and see, like, oh, I've had 36 shakes, in a row, or I've worked out for like 20 days in a row. That's just, it's neat. And you can track your weight in your inches every day if you want to. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, I would run like a test group, Christy, with people, like you said, that wanted to keep going. I think that's a good idea, just to try it.
How long, when you set it up, do you say how long the group is at the beginning, or do you just close it out when you keep doing it?
Yeah, because on there, if you'll notice, it'll say like day 45 of 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll ask you how long when you set it up. How many days is this?
And also, it has in there, it has Beachbody's challenge group guides. So obviously, like I add a whole bunch of them, but they have really good resources in there, and like motivational pictures and things to post. And like 22-minute hardcore, Tony Horton did a week by week video for the program to kind of motivate you each week. And so I use those things. So it's really cool. I wish that more people had been active, and I probably will use it again based on, especially for those more specific challenge groups, like a specific program. I think it would be really good for my challengers for that. But
that's what I was thinking. Like if you had, like you did with the 22 hardcore, I would love to do a group of runners with PiYo, because I think that's something I'm really interested in.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Christy, that was really good information. It truly was. So if you guys have any questions, or if there's anything you saw that she did that you want her to share in our team page, just shoot her a message.
Definitely.
That sound good? Okay. I was looking for, anyways, never mind. I think that was awesome. Do you guys have any questions for any of us, for me, or for anybody else? Oh, good. Y'all want to do a power hour next week?
Yes.
Sure.
Monday night?
Yeah, the same time. And so I recorded this, and I'll share it in our team page.